Look at the clear liquid forming a droplet and falling into this sterile vial. When we think of life-saving intravenous medicine, we usually focus on the active pharmaceutical ingredients. We rarely think about the delivery mechanism. Up to 90% of the volume in most liquid medications consists of a single, highly controlled ingredient: water. Jagged mineral deposits, free-floating ions, and active biological life. Safe for a drinking glass, but completely incompatible with a patient's bloodstream. If these microscopic contaminants were introduced into a pharmaceutical batch, the chemical reactions would ruin millions of dollars worth of medicine and introduce severe biological threats directly to patients. To prevent this, pharmaceutical manufacturers must adhere to strict regulatory thresholds, known as the USP or EP. These are the United States and European pharmacopoeias, the official legal rulebooks that set strict safety standards for medicine. They dictate that water must be stripped down to its bare molecular bones before it ever touches a drug. The clear liquid used in modern medicine bypasses nature entirely. It is an aggressively purified, heavily engineered chemical. This continuous glide over a massive network of metallic industrial tanks shows the starting line. We call this the generation skid, and it is where raw municipal water enters the factory pipeline. The journey begins with the pretreatment phase. Multimedia filters and chemical softeners grab the largest obstructions, pulling out heavy minerals like calcium. This step exists purely to protect the sensitive, high-cost machinery waiting downstream. The water then enters the heavy-lifting core of the purification system, reverse osmosis. High pressure forces H2O molecules through the RO barrier, washing large blocked salts away. Downstream, a tiny fraction of trace ions survive. To catch them, electrodeionization activates an electric field, powerfully yanking remaining ions completely out of the stream. Only pure H2O continues. The generation skid successfully strips the water down to absolute molecular purity. However, this creates a scientific paradox. By removing all natural minerals, the water becomes extremely reactive, a hungry solvent that poses a brand new threat to the factory itself. The water leaves the filtration skid and enters a vast distribution network. These mirror-polished pipes carry the purified water seamlessly through the sterile facility. This is where the hungry water paradox takes over. Because the water is 100% deprived of minerals, it actively tries to pull them back in. If left in standard industrial pipes, it would reactively leach the metal and minerals right out of the walls. Stagnant water presents a severe biological threat. If pure water stops moving for even a short time, it immediately becomes a breeding ground for biofilm, a slimy, impenetrable matrix of bacterial colonies that permanently infects the system. The primary defense against this bacterial threat is the loop system. Giant pumps push the water in a continuous, high-velocity circuit. The aggressive speed physically prevents any bacteria from taking hold and adhering to the pipe walls. The material itself provides the second layer of defense. The entire network is built from ultra-smooth, electro-polished 316L stainless steel. This specific grading eliminates microscopic crevices, leaving microbes absolutely nowhere to hide. For the final brute force defense mechanism, the entire continuous loop is frequently heated to 80 degrees Celsius, or 176 degrees Fahrenheit. This intense thermal flush assassinates any potential biological intruders trying to survive in the current. To prove the water remains uncompromised, automated quality gatekeepers monitor the loop 24 hours a day. These NARC sensors strictly measure total organic carbon, or TOC, alongside the water's electrical conductivity. This diagram shows a simple electrical circuit inside the pipe, demonstrating the scientific logic of the conductivity sensor. Because electrical currents require ions to travel, water with zero ions means the spark fails to jump the gap. No current means pure water. Achieving perfect molecular purity is only half the battle. The true marvel is the high-energy, continuous warfare required to defend that exact state of purity against the natural forces of entropy. Following these perfectly uniform, freshly filled glass vials down the automated packaging line, we reach the final destination of the water's journey. The chaotic, biologically active municipal water from the city tap has been entirely broken down and rebuilt into a tightly controlled, precision-engineered chemical foundation. Global healthcare relies entirely on the flawless execution of this hidden infrastructure. Every sterile IV drip, Every liquid antibiotic and every modern vaccine requires this baseline level of purity to function safely. The generation skid and the high-velocity loop system operate together as the literal mechanical heartbeat of the pharmaceutical factory. The simple, clear liquid inside a medical syringe represents an ongoing, high-stakes triumph of modern engineering. If you want to explore the next, even stricter tier of medical water purification, hit the subscribe button and let us know in the comments if you're ready for water for injection.